What's up guys, it's the Tech Wally, and this is the state of 4K in April 2014. So I wanted to apologize because my last video, which I did about HTC M8 hands-on, it's also down below. Click the link down below to see that one. It has been over a week, and I also promised you guys to make a video every week. That wasn't possible for me. I hope I will make this video, so I hope this works out. But before, I didn't have access to my computer, and I also didn't have time because I was painting my room. 2014 is the year, in my opinion, of wearable tech and 4K. I have done a video about wearable tech, the state of wearable tech, already a couple weeks ago, so I will link that below. So go ahead and check that out. And today I will be talking about 4K. So 4K has been around for a longer time period now, but we haven't seen it too much. People didn't buy it. Some people even didn't know what 4K is. So I think that this is going to change in 2014, so in this year, because people are realizing more about 4K. 4K is going to be advertised more, and yeah, there's generally just going to be way more 4K. Just a quick recap for everybody who doesn't know what 4K is or has forgotten what 4K is. 4K is 4 times as many pixels as normal 1080p video, so it looks awesome because you have way more detail. If you're interested in that topic, I have a video down below the like button, where it was my first video where I explain what is 4K, so go ahead and check that one out. 4K displays look great and really amazing. At IFA last year and also CS earlier this year, we saw a lot of 4K displays and TVs. Everybody had a 4K TV, and I personally love pixels. I love a high resolution screen, and I'm a huge fan of that just in general. And I wondered why and where is all the 4K, and why isn't everything already 4K? So 4K brings a lot of limitations and restrictions and problems with it. Creating 4K content is very hard and also very expensive. Before, you had a 4K camera which was very expensive, but right now you can get a Sony AX100 about $2,000, which is good. It shoots 4K video with 50 megabits, so that is very good, especially for a very low price point. Then there's also the Panasonic GH4, and also some phones, but they had the restriction of not having enough processing power. The Note 3, Samsung Galaxy S5, and Oppo Find 7 all shoot 4K, even up to 30 frames per second, but with a very low bitrate because they don't have enough power. The GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition, for example, shoots 4K with 15 frames per second, also not enough power. So this year we're starting to see some 4K cameras, and that is solving a lot of problems. So some movies are also created in 4K. So if you go to the cinema, some have the option of 4K. For example, The Hobbit was in 4K, and other movies are being made in 4K now, but it's also very expensive, and I think you have to pay extra in the cinema. So it's all not that great. Another aspect, of course, is gaming. So now we have the possibility of 4K gaming, but before you had the restriction of the graphics card not having enough power, and also now you can use very high graphic cards, very really expensive graphics cards. Mostly you would use HDMI for 4K video. However, 4K video won't work over HDMI because it's not fast enough. It will only work with 30 frames per second or 30 hertz. So for gaming, that is not optimal. Shooters or really graphically intensive games, you want to have a higher frame rate than 30 hertz or 30 frames per second. That is a very huge limitation. Thunderbolt obviously will work, but that is mostly limited to Mac users. Then there's DisplayPort, which also works. And then we could wait for HDMI 2.0. All of these will work with 30 hertz displays. There is from Asus, for example, a 4K monitor. I think it's 32 inches, and it's very expensive, like $3,000, and works with 30 hertz, so it is usable. Still, you need a very good graphics card, but it works, I think, with DisplayPort and also Thunderbolt with Mac users. Then there are very cheap versions. Lenovo, Dell, and Samsung all made 28-inch 4K displays. They can all use DisplayPort with 30 hertz. So if you have that, that's good. And they're all around $700 to $800. So that is very inexpensive for a 4K monitor. With TVs, you have the limitation of only having HDMI because TVs usually don't have a DisplayPort. But you can get a 4K TV very inexpensively right now. 50-inch TV for around $700 and a 39-inch for around $500. So that is very inexpensive. And before they were over a couple $1,000, but now the prices are dropping, and I think more consumers and more normal people not into tech too much will consider buying a 4K TV. There's no 4K television because it's just too expensive. However, Netflix should start 4K streaming this month, so in April. House of Cards should be in 4K. The people who own a 4K TV, probably their 4K TV hasn't even played anything in 4K because there's barely any content. No 4K gaming with the consoles. A interesting thing I saw is a tablet from Panasonic, 20-inch tablet for working productivity. It's huge and very heavy with a 4K display. It is kind of cool, but it is very, very expensive, and I don't know who would use that because, yeah, why would you need a 4K display for productivity? I'm not sure who would buy that, but it's very interesting that something like that is possible. Now let's get to the category of consuming 4K content. So with video, we have YouTube, for example, 2160p option, which is 4K. Sadly, I can't produce any 4K content, so this video will be in 1080p because I don't own a 4K camera. Mine only shoots 1080p. It's not bad, but there are a lot of problems with 4K. First of all, the people who stream it takes very long to load and just to buffer. But if you have a great internet connection, it's okay, but it's also not as great for people like me who create the content because it has huge files. So when I make a video, it's usually 1 gigabyte, then I compress it, and it ends up to being 300 megabytes. But that's just 1080p, and 4K is even way larger, and it takes time to create, to upload, and also need a lot of storage, and it's all very expensive. So that's another restriction for watching 4K. So that's been it, guys. This is the state of 4K early mid 2014. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop me a like down below, and subscribe to see more videos like this one. I have some great videos in the making or production right now, so stay tuned for these videos. Happy Easter, everybody, and see you next time. Bye.